sunrise or whatever time you are watching this, welcome to the Special Life by Ale. So I've done a morning routine in the past, but this time around I wanted to show you our special needs daughter's night routine. Thankfully, our night nurse was so gracious enough to let us film her process of caring for Ale. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment of what other videos you would like to see. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, at 6:30ish is when I start with all of our night routine, beginning with getting Ale into her PJs. You will see that I am constantly communicating to her what I am doing. I'm showing her what she is wearing. Sometimes I let her pick, all per speeches tips so that she can learn the language and commands. Basically all for communication purposes, and that goes for everything that I do for Alexandrea. When brushing her teeth, which by the way I'm using this Natural Tom's toothpaste, a vibrating toothbrush, which Ale likes, Aquaphor for hydrating her lips afterwards, and of course the suction machine. And because she's a diva, I do have to sing Ale the "This is the way we brush our teeth" song in order for her to open up her mouth. I guess she just loves that song. So now it's time to set up Alexandria's bed, and she does not like to sleep in her crib anymore. I don't know what it is, but she just tosses and turns, and she wakes up in the middle of the night several times. One time we tried out the sofa bed, and it got her through the night, and yeah, whatever works. I mean, as long as mommy and daddy get some sleep, right? Next is story time with Ale, and I really try my best to get some reading done every single day, but I'm not gonna lie, there are some days where we do miss it just because some days are crazier than others and there's just a lot going on that we don't make it happen. And yeah, I feel really guilty about it. And when I do read to her, I try to read about 3 to 5 books, sometimes twice a day. I just really enjoy this bonding time with Ale. I think it's because I've been reading to her ever since she was in the NICU. When 7 o'clock rolls around, I'm trying to put her down for the rest of the night. We do our little prayer, and then depending on how tired she is, she might fall asleep right then and there. And then there are some times where she fights me and it takes about an hour, sometimes 2, sometimes she waits for her dad. She's such a daddy's girl. She loves when daddy puts her to sleep. I have sleep trained Alexandria in the past where she sleeps by herself, but that always goes out the window whenever we get discharged from a hospitalization. Her sleep schedule gets thrown off and just the whole routine gets messed up. We will have to revisit that, but for now, I'm actually enjoying holding her while she falls asleep. The night that I filmed this, she was still awake by 8. At 8, her medication is due, which requires a blood pressure to be taken before I give it to her. I do one last diaper change, and thankfully, she fell asleep right after that. It was about 8:30. When she finally falls asleep, I put on the pulse ox to make sure that her oxygenation and heart rate are good throughout the night. I don't put on the CPAP right away because Alexandria needs to be in a deep sleep. Otherwise, if I put it too soon, she will wake up, she'll fuss, she'll fight me, and yeah, it just doesn't work that way. I usually wait like about half hour, 45 minutes, and by that time, Dad is home, so he'll just take care of that. He's a better respiratorist than I am anyway. One thing I want to mention is that we do switch off when Dad comes in. I go ahead and go to sleep, and he stays with Ale until the nurse comes, which is around 11. He gives her 10 o'clock flush. He's also responsible for putting on her eye lubrication, which basically keeps her eyes lubricated throughout the night. And this is him signing off. I tell him to act natural, and this is what he does. Alright, so the first thing Nurse Sonia does when she arrives at 11 is washes her hands. Then she goes ahead and does a vital assessment on Ale, which includes heart rate, saturations, respirations, temperature, and she also listens to her lungs and checks on her bowel sounds. Next, she makes a full batch of milk, which she saves for later. Then she sits down and does her nursing paperwork, which is found in Ale's binder, which includes verbal orders, medication administration record, and it's where she has to write down a summary of how the shift went. One thing I forgot to show is when Freddie stops Alexandria's feed at 10 because she does get a 2-hour break between 10 to 12. That is when Nurse Sonia hangs a new milk bag which lasts about 4 hours. She She also gives her another water flush because Alexandria does get water flushes every 2 hours. And every 2 hours, Alexandria does get turned over from one side to another in order to prevent any bed sores. At 4 a.m., Ale is due for another batch of feed. I guess around 5ish is when Alexandria woke up that morning. Nurse Sonia takes off her CPAP and does a diaper change. I can tell Alexandria is super happy to see her. She just loves her Nurse Sonia. You can even see when she blows her a kiss. And before Nurse Sonia's shift is over, she actually prepares all of the morning meds. She gives Alexandria her 6 o'clock flush, and she even does the breathing treatment with her, which is pretty nice of her. I mean, because everything is pretty much set up, so I don't have to worry about it. Most of all, I really love that Alexandria loves her. She's just a great nurse, and we're so thankful that we found her. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to be it for this night routine. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know what other videos you would like to see, and I guess we'll talk to you on the next one.